Hello, this is our project proposal. So our proposal is using the singleton class, we add a data collection class that is able to write data to Google Sheets. And how we do that is we first calculate the distance between the start and the endpoint that the user dictates, and we calculate the distance in that strategy's path that they choose. And then we're able to also calculate the difference using the Euclidean distance, which is the square root of the strategy length squared minus the beeline length squared. And after that, we append the results of that result to a local CSV file. And after using the write to CSV function. After we've done that, we export that local CSV file to a Google Sheets using a Python script that anyone can look at and is very easily accessible using the CSV to Sheets function. So this is the CSV to Sheets Python file. What it's doing is it's basically initializing the Google Sheets, and then it is updating the values from the local CSV file into the Google Sheets using a pandas data frame. And speaking of the pandas data frame, we had to install a lot of things in the Docker file in order to make this work. For example, as you can see on lines 21 and 22, we had to install Python 3 and Python 3 pip. And after that, we used pip3 to install pandas, gspread, and OAuth2 client. In drone.cc, we made some additional code here. We declared an instance of the data collection with the strategy and strategy name and called it data collector. And then we wrote to CSV with the path of the strategy, writing the data to the local CSV, and then we wrote that CSV to the sheets using the CSV to sheets function. And we also did that, and we did that whether it was an A star, DFS, or Dijkstra. And we did not do that for Beeline. And this is the strategy distances.csv. This is the local CSV file. Here are some examples after running it about 10 times, 11 times. And on the left-hand side, you got the strategy and then a comma, and then you have this square difference. And the reason we chose the square difference was because the fall off from having a longer distance would be harder, or would be longer, sorry. And this is the CC file for data collection, where you can see how we actually calculate the difference, how we wrote to CSV, how we read from the CSV to the sheets with the Python script.
Yeah, and then now I'll go through a sample run of the program. So I'm running it through Docker, running it the same way as we usually do. If we build that, then we go to the scheduler. We schedule a trip that uses a strategy other than Beeline because Beeline doesn't get recorded, and we schedule just a random trip. And then, so the simulation works smoothly, it works as intended, and the drone keeps going, it reaches destination. And then it does the spin, and then strategy distances just got updated with 853.372, and that's reflected in our strategy distances right here. So that was the new point. So you can see that all the previous points were uploaded as well as the new point. And this is a Google Sheets that's shared with all the group members. So if any group member, let's say Jace, decides to type something in there, as he's doing right now, it's reflected. Yep. So we can see the changes. So it's a public Google Sheets that us as a business can use to analyze the data and do more fun things with that.
Yeah, all right. Thank you for listening to this. Goodbye.